Shut up and sit down.
We have the wonderful Estelle Phillips with us today. She is a nature writer, poet, and performance artist, and all-round good egg creative person. Estelle, hello, how are you?
Hello. Hi. Very well, thank you.
It's good. You've had a busy old weekend last week. You was at the Swindon Festival of Literature. Tell us what you were doing there.
Oh, yes. So at Swindon last week, I was emceeing the flash fiction competition. And then I was performing as one of the headline acts for the festival's finale.
Hey, superb. What did you perform? Was it Headless Horseman, was it?
Yeah, I did. I did the Headless Horseman, yeah.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. If anyone manages to catch Estelle doing that, it's a really, really good performance. And it's just, you can hear a pin drop. It's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. I bet that got well received, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I was really thrilled.
Good. That's fantastic. And Estelle makes all her own props, which is fantastic. I love them. I love seeing them all. Also, I mean, we brought you on today because you've started doing nature talks with humans, and that just sounds incredible. Tell us about that. How did that come about?
Well, obviously, like you, I talk to a lot of people about nature, and I live right in a rural community and surrounded by nature and hills and everything. And more, I was talking to people and they were telling me about their magical experiences. They're sort of like their cross-species communication with nature. And it was like driving me mad because I was thinking, oh my God, these things that people are telling me, they're so incredible and they're not being recorded anywhere. It's like, I want everybody to know about this stuff. I just want everybody to know. And it all started off with a guy called Alan Chalk who lives in the village, and he's sort of like the village elder, and he's very highly regarded, and he's 94. And I was talking to him and he told me about how a shire horse saved his life. And I was like, this has got to be evergreen. You know, it's got to be kept and recorded. And I thought, well, how? How do you show it to other people? And so I thought, I've got to start doing podcasts. And it was a nightmare.
What did you find a nightmare? Was it the technology side of it?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God.
It drives you mad, doesn't it?
It was so hard.
Yeah.
Right, because you go, what happens? You do all your research, don't you?
Yeah.
And then there's some bright spark goes online and says, oh yeah, all you need is a phone. You just hit record and off you go. And I was like, yeah. That sounds like my kind of thing. I can hit record and off I go. No, no, that's not how it works. What you do is you have to learn how to record properly because otherwise it sounds pants and people just like switch off. And then you have to, you don't just record and put it out there. Then you have to get a host and have to put all your stuff on the host. And then they have to disseminate it to all the other people so that people like you and me can go and listen to it. And it sounds so simple. And for me, it was a nightmare. It really made my head hurt.
I must admit, I'm not, everything I've learned with technology has taken forever because I've just, you read my blog, Death of a Chromebook. It just explains exactly what I'm like with technology. So I'm with you.
But Natalie, don't you think that technology is so time consuming? Yeah. It is possible to learn, but it's so time consuming. And all the time that I'm doing that, I'm thinking I should be writing this. I should be writing this.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Takes you away from the creativity, doesn't it? But it's like a means to an end because you want to express that creativity by using that platform. But you got there and you did it. And obviously the graphics and everything, I think are really lovely. It feels like such a warm, podcast. So, where can people get to hear that?
Literally everywhere.
Right. Okay. So, but
Yeah.
if they went to your socials, you've got links to it, haven't you, on there?
Yeah, I think I have. I think I've got links under my Instagram and I think
Yeah.
both my Instagram and my TikTok accounts linked to it.
Right. Brilliant.
But it's just you just search Nature Talks with Humans, Estelle
Yeah.
Phillips, and I'm pretty sure it'll come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll try and see if I can get a link to put to this. So if anybody wants to, they can click on that
Oh,
and
thank
take
you.
it from there. Also, part of that, I mean, you spoke with Alan, like you say, and you spoke to a gentleman called Ron, but they told you
Mhm.
some special stories, didn't they? Which you've done a special VE podcast.
Yeah.
That must have been quite moving.
Oh, yeah. So, but again, Natalie, I'm sure you'll really understand this. I was absolutely torn about this because Alan and Ron are both like really important men in our village. And as you say, I was talking to them about this nature stuff. And as I was talking to them, all the stuff about the war came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is like, again, like people need to know this stuff,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
otherwise it's going to go away.
Yeah.
And I was completely torn because it wasn't like pure nature human communication.
Mm.
And but I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And so I just had to do it as a special VE Day podcast with them so that people can hear about their experiences in the war, because what they were talking about was mind blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, Alan came across a fallen aircraft in the hedgerows. And I don't know if you've listened to that one, but he just makes this comment, this sort of like quite offhand comment about the scene when he arrived at the aircraft in the field in Wiltshire during the war. And it was very sobering, for the moment.
Yeah.
And then he talks about how all the boys, what the boys wanted to do was they wanted to get some of the perspex canopy and make rings for their girlfriends.
Yeah.
And it's just so it was just so far removed from now.
Yeah. And like you say, to preserve those stories as well for the future generations and what have you, because we are slowly losing those sort of stories, especially specific local stories to where you are, and to Wiltshire. So it's important to do, and it's a good job that you've done that. And I thought it sat really nicely, the VE Day special last week. It's incredible. So people will still be able to hear that as well. That's part of your podcast package with Nature Talks, isn't it? So
because Natalie, what do you think about this thing about social media? Because you and I, we both like, well, me only now, but we both sort of like do evergreen stuff side by side with our social media stuff, don't we?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I think it is a platform to inform people and to guide people. I mean, there's good and bad to social media, and obviously we see a lot of that from day to day that comes up on the news. But stories like you can promote, like your podcast, to be able to get a wider audience via social media, I think that's a good thing. I do, and it is time consuming to do, but I think it is important for what you're doing. And also like things like the Swindon Festival of Literature. It was lovely to be able to see your take on that. You made a video, and it was just nice to see that, so people who maybe couldn't get along could get an overview of what that was, what happened, and the promotion of that in the lead up to that. Same as with the Blandford Literary Festival work. A lot of our stuff we're doing is via social media. If we didn't have it, how much attention would we get in Blandford as a town without that social media? So there's good and bad, there is good and bad, and it's the time it takes to do it all. That's the thing, the editing and the proofreading and everything else that goes with it, because you do, quite rightly, as you said, that little voice goes, yeah, but you could be writing. You could be doing this. And it's a hard balance. It is a hard balance. But I think you've got it right, Estelle. I think you've got a good balance. I do. I agree. I think you've got a good balance. Talking about writing, you actually were at the Bournemouth Writing Festival. Obviously, I was really lucky enough to be in the Poetry Hub with you, and we were working on the community poem. but you did a nature writing workshop. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about that, because, I know that obviously people who attended, they bought tickets, they could come along, but those who maybe didn't and missed out, but might in the future, just give us an overview of what that's like.
Yeah, well, obviously, I don't know like how much of this you're sort of like involved in, but there's a there's a really big debate in the world of nature writing about what the responsibilities of a nature writer are. Yeah. And I'm like, my passion and my everything that I do in my work, everything that I do is I am very, very simply trying to encourage everybody to be kind to nature. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to do. All my poetry, all my writing, all my podcast, everything that I'm doing is for that goal, to try and encourage everybody to be kinder to nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's obviously animals, insects, land, trees, etc.
Yeah.
Now, like, my personal approach to it all is that you cannot be prescriptive, because people are going to come at it from different angles with a different life experience.
Yeah.
And so, because I've got this overarching ambition that everyone be kind to nature, that dictates everything I do. So when I'm running a nature writing workshop, for example, that's always at the back of my mind. So I think that in order to get people to be kind to nature, first of all, they need to connect with it.
Yeah.
And like, I've read some amazing nature books, and they're so heavy that I'm like, I've put them down.
Yeah.
It's like embarrassing to admit, isn't it?
Yeah.
You
No, I
know,
know
like
what you're saying.
classics. Yeah. They're too heavy for me. They're too much.
Yeah.
Or I've read nature books where they're descriptive about cruelty to animals because they're complaining about it. I'm practically vomiting in my bed reading something like that because I've not got the stomach for it. I literally cannot handle it. And and so so the heavy stuff, I can't do the heavy stuff. I can't do the graphic stuff. So I'm kind of like left with this thing in the middle. And I think it's the same for everyone because everyone's got a different notion. So when I'm doing the workshops, what I'm trying to encourage people to understand or to do is to just like allow themselves. Just be whatever you want to be in the nature space. And, you know, don't think, oh, that's not important enough or that's not good enough. You know, like a fly is as nature as a tiger. It's like, and the park is as nature as a prairie. And so
it's what people where they live, their social element. I mean, I'm very lucky. I'm like yourself. I live rurally, but there's people in towns and cities that the park is their prairie. You know, that is where they go. And they get to experience what that offers in regards to nature. So I completely understand that. So it's nice that you're able to understand that not everybody has the same perspective of nature as what maybe somebody else does. So you know, on your workshop they would all be able to you know, encounter what it is that you're offering.
Definitely, and that's really important to me. So that's the first thing, like to make it universally accessible. And then the second thing that I'm always seeking to do is, as I said, to encourage this connection with nature. And so I'm very likely to, a lot of my work does, as you know, animate nature, which I think is completely right and good. But I don't mind if you don't think that. I don't, you know, you can think whatever you like, but I'm always looking for that connection. And so I'm going to encourage that as well. And that's also really good for people because all the research shows that, you know, the greater connection you have, the more well you are. So that's always what I'm looking to do. But I do like, I'm very interactive. very
Yeah.
interactive.
No,
Yeah.
it is good, and that's what I've always enjoyed about when I've worked with you, because you are, I mean, with the community poem, for instance, you know, you the interaction that you have with people, you know, you get a glimpse of what you would be like in your performance. It's like you continue to perform even when you're in, you know, just in people's space when they're writing poetry. So yeah, I get that. I really get that. And obviously the community poem then went on to Bournemouth Library, didn't it? So you actually went along and did that, didn't you? Did you
What
take it there?
the
You took the poem, because it was huge, wasn't it? I think we had 4 extensions on it in the end, by the end
Yeah,
of
yeah, we
it.
did. Yeah, 4 extensions. Yeah,
So
no, the Dominic and the festival actually took it away,
oh, did they?
and
Oh, right, okay.
yeah, yeah, and uh, I saw Dominic. Was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember, but it's on its way to the library.
Brilliant. Oh,
So
so that's good.
yeah,
So it's still,
yeah,
people have got an opportunity to go and see that and read some of the stuff that was put on there, because that
yeah,
was really good, because actually people wrote about what was important to them, which again comes back to
mm,
what you were saying about the writing workshop. You know,
yeah,
people will observe what they see, and that
yeah,
is important to them. So
yeah.
it was great that that weekend they actually had opportunity to do that, and obviously it was a free workshop, that one, in the
Mm.
Poetry Hub, which was brilliant. I was really pleased to be part of that with you. But what's next for you, Estelle? What's next? Because I know that you're a busy lady. You do a lot of the festivals, don't you? So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I've got a performance tomorrow at Salisbury Transition City, which is an environmental thing. And then I'm performing at Chalk Festival.
Oh, fantastic.
And I've got a performance coming up in my local church with an amazing local musician. So yeah, so like performance wise, it's you know what it's like, Natalie. It's a
Yeah.
busy time of year,
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
is. It is.
Yeah.
I know when I was trying to get hold of you, I knew that you had said you were doing quite a lot. So to try and book you in to have a chat tonight, you know, it's fitting in amongst all the festivals that I know that
Mm.
you're doing. But yeah, busy summer coming up for you. Any more writing? Any more books? Because I know
Oh
that
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, definitely, absolutely, definitely. I've got a cut-off date for my summer performances because then I'm going to Norway.
Mm.
And at the moment, I'm editing my nature recovery memoir.
Oh,
So I did the first draft of it while I was on the Literature Works Emerging Writers program, which ended in end of March this year.
mm.
So have you heard of
I
that
think
program?
only through my conversations with you. I hadn't before I'd spoken with you. So
Oh yeah, no, it's amazing, Natalie.
mm,
Especially if, like me, you haven't had like formal teaching for writing.
yeah.
So it's a competitive thing. So you submit to ask if you can be on their cohort.
Mm,
And then they choose a certain number of, I think there was 8 of us, I think, I'm not sure.
mm,
So we were all selected from a number of people. And for the year, what Literature Works do on their word space program is they give you a number of seminars, they allocate you a professional mentor.
mm.
And then I was also really lucky because I got partnered with Little Toller. And so then you have a whole year of basically being taught how to write. And you have feedback sessions and stuff like this as well. And for someone like me who's never been taught how to write creatively, it was just constant gold mining. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was absolutely brilliant. And during
Oh,
that year, I finished my first draft of this memoir. And I also wrote on the side, I also wrote another collection of poetry.
mm,
But my main work was my memoir. And so I'm now editing that and preparing that for submission,
yeah.
which was a long way away. And meanwhile, I'm also developing another new work for performance. And it's a work that I won't say too much about it. It was shortlisted by BBC Radio 4 commissioning, but I don't think it made the final cut. And I'm developing it now for performance. Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, brilliant. Oh, you'll
Yeah.
have to keep us posted on that. We might be able to get you back at the Bradford Literary Festival, because that would be fantastic. I'd love to see that. And also, I suppose writing wise, if, as your Nature Talks with Humans develops,
Yeah.
lovely to have them in a book so people can actually read, those stories. That would make a great collection, because you're a brilliant photographer as well. No, you are. Your photos are fantastic. So you could always merge those as well, but you
Oh.
try and fit that in at some point. Oh God, Estelle. Well, I tell you what, it's been lovely catching up with you. I know it's only a quick catch up, but that's what these sessions are for. And it's just to promote you and all the lovely work that you do. Looking forward to more podcasts from you. Looking forward to seeing you perform again, and good luck with all the other festivals, because
Natalie,
it's brilliant.
thank you so much.
I can't wait to see your new work. I really can't. That would be brilliant.
I'm
You're a brilliant
excited.
performance artist. So keep us informed, and we will catch up with you very soon. And obviously, people can catch up with you on social media and TikTok, just to see what you're up to next. All right,
Natalie,
Estelle.
thank you so much.
No problem. Speak to you soon.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Have a
Bye.
lovely weekend.
Bye.
Bye.